This video is about the Alde 3020 heating system with an inline pump. I've got a problem with it where the circulation pump is making a really loud sound, and what I've worked out is the pump is about to fail. I'll just demonstrate how it should work. So when you turn on the Alde heating system, and I've just got it set at the moment without hot water, just so the heating should go, and that little symbol up on the top shows that the circulation pump should be running. This is the circulation pump down here. So you can hear the flames now lit. It's the sound of the air pump. And that's basically running at the moment on the lowest pump setting. So there's actually a pump setting down here that you can set it between 0 and 5. Now I'll demonstrate the problem. So basically if I turn up that pump speed to like 1 or 2, listen to the sound. And it's failing now, the pump is actually not running. Even when I turn it down, it's still not sounding very healthy. If I turn it up, it sort of sounds like a jet engine, and that was the problem that we had. So originally the pump was making that sound when the pump setting was on 1.5, so I knew that the pump was a bit odd. I switched the pump right down to the lowest setting, and I've probably got another month's use out of it. But essentially something in the pump is not right, that it can't run like that. So I'm going to be attempting a switch of the circulation pump. So yeah, that shows you that if you hear that sound, that high-pitched kind of jet engine type sound, check the pump speed. If it's above 1.5 or 2, then obviously turn the pump down. But if you're having a problem like mine, where even on 1 or 2, it's making that sound, that would suggest that there's a fault with the pump. So I've finished the pump replacement on the Alde 3020 unit. So I just thought I'm not going to share the full how-to video. I'll pop a link for that because there is some really good content on YouTube for how to change the pump. But I just want to come back on this video and show what it now looks like, talk through some of the challenges that I had, and some tips for anyone else that's out there attempting it. So as you can see, the new pump is in there. It's tucked down here. It's running at the moment. Basically you can't really even hear the pump, so that goes to show that the old pump was in fact pretty close to being dead. Even when I turn the speed up to 5, it doesn't make any discernible difference in the sound, so it's definitely a lot better. So when I pulled the pump out, some of the challenges that I had. So firstly, I needed the correct tool to open these clips. I did buy the correct tool. I was thinking about attempting it with vice grips or pliers. I think that would have been a big mistake. It would have been way too hard, so definitely buy the right tool for that. The tool for pinching the pipes, I bought the correct tool for that. It would have been a disaster if I hadn't had that, I think. Because basically what I first did was drained the coolant out. This is a Bailey Unicorn twin axle Barcelona. The drain plug was actually underneath the radiator in the bathroom. It wasn't underneath the kitchen kind of area, which is what I found in some other posts. So have a look underneath the radiator in the bathroom. I removed the clip and dropped the plug, drained that, probably got about 4 litres, 3 to 4 litres of fluid from there. It took around 20 minutes to drain. I altered the level of the Caravan, the drawbar up and down to get more fluid, but basically what happened was when I removed the pump, I still lost a lot of fluid, like probably close to 2 litres, and it did unfortunately have some spill around here, which I'm, to be honest, not that happy about. I've cleaned it up as best I could, but some of the fluid seems to have actually gone underneath. I thought about removing the whole unit to clean it. Seemed a bit too hard, so I'm just going to be on the lookout for any kind of fluid seeping out from underneath things over the coming weeks. And what I've actually done is just tucked some paper towels there. You can see there's a little bit of coloration on that paper towel where it is soaking up a tiny bit. Then the second step was, it was really important to remove this. There was just no way that I could access the pump without removing this, so there was this clip, and then once you remove that, there's a second pipe inside with another clip. So I removed that, and then I was able to basically bring this pipe up over here out of the way, which gave me good access. This cover came away no problem. I was able to remove the plug, but basically this pipe here, as soon as I removed that, an awful lot of liquid was coming out of basically the boiler, and it was really awkward to get a container in there, and I ended up using some rags, but I had some spillage. So if I was going to do that again, basically I would leave that pipe on there and remove the pipe by the pump, that way giving you an ability to clamp on there better, and just be ready for some fluid to come out. Possibly you could run the pump with the drain bung out, and maybe that would push it through, but I'm not sure if you can run the pump with dry, like with no fluid, so I wasn't keen to do that. Maybe that could be a solution. Someone could comment below if you know the answer to that one. So, but basically when this pipe was removed, probably close to 2 litres of fluid still came out, and that created a problem because as soon as it hit the ground, it went down through that hole down there, and it went underneath the boiler, and it was a bit stressful. We've got it all cleaned up now. So yeah, so that pipe was problematic. Had a little bit of an issue getting the screws, kind of hard to see just where my finger is, the screw that holds the pump in, that was quite niggly with getting the screwdriver. I had a stress moment that I thought I was going to strip the thread, but the head, but it worked out okay. Yeah, so once the fluid was eventually out, I used that special tool to remove these clips, and the rest of the process went fine. Popped the new pump in. It made an incredible difference in the sound, like I said. Then I refilled the reservoir, put about 3 litres in, and then ran the pump on full, and basically the levels dropped in the reservoir as the air came out, and then I put another sort of litre in, then ran the heater for a bit again, then turned it off, put another litre in, and just repeated that process for about half an hour. Then I, with the pump running on 5 as per the recommendations, and then I went around the bleed valve. So this twin axle Bailey Unicorn 2015 model has got a bleed valve in the bathroom, which is very easy to access just by removing the top of the top cover on the radiator heater. There was a second bleed valve by the back corner of the bed, which I could access just by putting my hand down beside the mattress, and then there was a third bleed valve underneath the couch sofa opposite the boiler. So when you open those bleed valves initially, just open it very slowly, you'll hear a hiss, and then the hiss will stop and pink liquid will spray out. There's a little valve on the side where it pokes out, so you just have to put the rag on that little side valve where it squirts out to the side. It comes out to the side, the liquid and the air, not above. So once the fluid starts flowing, then the air's been bled. I did that about twice. Not a lot of air came out, to be honest, so per the guide in the other video, which I'll share, essentially once you've topped the fluid up and you run the heater, you put it on the speed setting on 5, the air is pretty much pushed out via this auto bleed valve and also via the reservoir. And then I ran the heater for about an hour just to check it, make sure there were no leaks, make sure All the pipes were sealed up correctly and things, and it was all a-okay. So on the whole, the problem that I faced, the noisy pump and the pump not running above like 1 or 0 speed, that problem was resolved by the replacement of the pump. So that's great. I've got my heating back again. In terms of complexity, I would say I'm very, very glad I bought the right tools. The clamps that can close the hose, they like scissor on there, and also the clip remover. I probably would have damaged something if I hadn't had those correct tools, and because of the way that the heat is installed and you're working in and around here in a confined area, I'm not sure that I would have been able to do it without the correct tools. And yeah, like I said, in terms of the spillage, that was pretty disappointing. I could probably have avoided a little bit, but I think having a variety of sized containers ready, like different height, so that you can slip them underneath the area that you're working to catch the fluid, and towels, and obviously removing, I've got a bunch of stuff back here now. I removed all that for the job. So yeah, for anybody else out there that's about to attempt it, good luck. It's totally doable. Just make sure you're prepared and you've got the right equipment, and plenty of rags and towels and time to resolve it. Ask any questions in the comments below, and I hope this helps you out. I'll just do a start and a stop so you can hear the sound of the system operating. We start it up. So the first sound was the pump, the second sound was the fan, and then you could hear the click click of the igniter. Just showing the tools that I used for that job. The orange crimping plier, so that's what's used to crimp the hoses so they don't leak too much, and then secondly this hose clamp plier, which, as you can see, it's got this long attachment piece, so you can get this down to open up the hose clamp while operating the actual device from the other side. So that was pretty key in being able to get and access the parts that I needed to change.